is a communication tool that helps you discover your communication style, your communication behavior, and it helps you understand other people's communication behavior also. All right, everybody, how are you doing today? Today, we're going to talk about the DISC model, the DISC Maxwell method. Okay, DISC, what is this? DISC is a communication tool that helps you discover your communication style, your communication behavior, and it helps you understand other people's communication behavior also. Why is that important? That's very, very important because it can avoid conflict. It can avoid all that drama. Me personally, I hate drama, absolutely hate drama, and I avoid it at all times. But DISC is a tool that will help you understand your behavior and other people's behavior so that the drama won't come in because of a misunderstanding. All right, so we're going to talk about that today. And I want to answer 3 questions about DISC. And the first question is, how does understanding your DISC profile helps you communicate more effectively with others? How does understanding your DISC style helps you communicate better with others and communicate better with yourself too? It helps you understand yourself also. Let's break down what DISC is. DISC is made of 4 letters, DISC, and each letter represents a style of communication, a communication style, a different style. The D stands for dominant, the I stands for influence, the S stands for steady, and the C stands for conscientious or compliant, which is the same thing. Now, each style behaves differently, which, by the way, every single person has the 4 styles. Okay, if somebody's telling you, hey, you're just a D, or you're just an I, or you're just a C, that's not true. Everybody has all styles, all 4 styles. But one of the styles always rises above all the rest. Okay. Now, when you are in different situations, in different scenarios, in different environments, when you are dealing with different life events, your communication style can change. For example, if in your Maxwell DISC report, which is my report is right here, if your report is showing, hey, you're a DI, well, it could be a life event or a situation that you are in, and if your report says you're a SC, you could be a CS, or you could be a ID, or you could be a IS, depending on the situation, because we are adaptable creatures. We adapt to situations. So your styles adapt to whatever environment you are in that moment. But again, one of the styles is going to rise up above all of them when you are in a calm state, in a steady state of mind, in a steady environment. What is the biggest misconception people have about this personality assessment? This is a beautiful question, and this is very, very, very misunderstood because a lot of people, when I offer the Maxwell DISC report, because I am a consultant under the Maxwell Leadership Platform, when I offer the report, people get scared and they tell me, well, I don't want to take it because I don't want you to find out if I'm crazy or not. Well, the DISC model, the DISC report doesn't really show. I tell them it doesn't really show if you're crazy or not. This is just a communication tool to help you improve your communication, period. That's all it is. It can't be used as a medical report. If people are using it as a medical report, then it's not right because it can't be used like that. It can't be used in court, none of that. There's other reports very, very similar to this like the Myers-Briggs, that those are used as medical reports, and they can be used in court and stuff like that. But DISC cannot be used that way. DISC is only a communication tool to help you understand your communication behavior and the communication behavior of others. So again, so that can avoid all that drama and stuff like that, and the misunderstandings, and which could lead to bigger problems. So that's the misconception. People believe that, oh my God, you're going to find out about a medical issue that I have, or something very, very private that I don't want anybody to know. No, it doesn't. It doesn't discover that. It doesn't bring that out. This is just a communication tool to help you understand your behavior, your communication behavior. For example, if you're a D, a person with a D style, it's very dominant. It's very direct. So if they're talking to a person that is a I, for example, an I is very influential. It's a people oriented person. It's not very direct. They're distracted. It could be distracted easily. So if you're talking to a D or a C, which C's are very detail oriented. So by the way, a C and an I, they're totally opposites. So if you're talking to a person that gives you all the details and they just flood you with details, and you're an I person, they're gonna bore you. You're gonna be miserable because you're like, oh my goodness, I don't need all that detail. I don't need all that detail. No, no, no. I want to talk to you. You avoid those people. And that kind of breaks the relationship. It breaks the connection between you and that person. But if you understand their style, if you're an I and that you understand that you're talking to a D, which is very direct, or you're talking to a C, which is very detail oriented, then you can manage and you can kind of navigate the conversation in a certain way. And it's not manipulation, it's just understanding behaviors, understanding how to create great relationships, great communication, great connection with other people. How can you use this to improve your relationships with colleagues or clients? How can you use this to improve your relationships with colleagues or clients? Beautiful question. This is a very, very, very powerful tool. Powerful tool. Why? Because again, like I explained earlier, if you don't know the styles and you're talking to a person and they frustrate you and you can't connect to these people, uh, it's very frustrating, and you start avoiding those relationships, and you start avoiding those kind of people, and you don't want to talk to them, and you just walk away, and there's no connection, there's no relationship. Now, hear me out. If you have to work with these people, if you absolutely have to work with these people and you see these people every day, it could be very, very frustrating because you don't understand their style. They don't understand your style. And there's no connection there. And it can be very, very frustrating. Before I learned about this, before I started teaching this, I had a coworker that was a C. Now I understand. I completely understand that he was a high C style because he was very, very, very analytical, very detail oriented. And me being an I don't need all the details. I figure out things as I go. I could be very distracted, yes, but I am very outgoing. I love people. So when he used to talk to me, he used to talk to me with all these details, and it was super, super boring, super boring. But I didn't understand that because I didn't know about this. If I would have known that, then I would know how to navigate the conversation, and we probably would have created a great relationship and a great friendship. And my day would have been a lot easier at work too. And the other part here, it says, what about your clients? How important is it for you to know your communication style, how important is it for you to know your client's communication style? How important is it to know how to describe DISC, how to know how to use the DISC model when it comes to clients? Again, me being an I, a C person is the opposite of my style. A C person is very, very, very detail oriented. I remember the first time I got a client and he was a C, and he frustrated me so much up to the point where I was angry. I spent 3 hours, 3.5 hours with this client, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, giving all the details, every single detail. I mean, I was selling cars at that time, and this guy wanted to know every single screw that was in that car, like the size and all kinds of things. Like, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy to me, not to him, because that's just the way he functioned. But I didn't understand that. So now that I understand that, it's a lot easier because I can manage the conversation, and I can take the conversation wherever way I want it to go. I want it to go. So it's important for you to know uh, the different communication styles, and it's important to understand yourself, to understand your clients. So that's the DISC model for you. I'm going to be talking more about DISC in the future. I'm going to be talking more about communication, connection, leadership, sales, personal growth. I absolutely love personal growth. And I invite you to subscribe to my channel. This is a channel that I had for a while, but I never really focused on the channel. So I'm going to start sharing what I know, sharing what I have learned. So please subscribe to the channel. And I also have a newsletter because I love writing. And I invite you to subscribe too. It's about public speaking. It's about personal growth. It's about leadership, sales. It's about communication. All right. So God bless you. I'll see you on the next video. God bless. Bye-bye.